I bet when I said things were changing around here, you weren't expecting me to disappear for about 2 months, were you? But there's reasons behind it, which I'll try and cover today, but as some of them are personal, please accept that I will not divulge too much information because of the fact that they are personal reasons. But as I had quite a few personal commitments to worry about and look after, instead of trying to put together videos I knew I wouldn't be happy with and that were not up to the standards I expect them to be, I didn't want to publish anything that was subpar. It's like if you go take a photo of a landscape, everything's out of focus when it all should be in focus, and you post it up and expect to get good reviews, it's not going to happen. I know it's an extreme example, but that's effectively what happened. I wasn't in the right mindset to continue making videos on a regular basis, so instead of trying to force something, I put it all aside and focused on what I needed to, and then decided to come back and do videos again when I know I'm ready to do it, which thankfully now I am. So where have I been the past few months? Mostly I've had to try and figure out what the heck to do with myself, because if you remember when I first got here about 6 months ago, the time I'm filming this, I was initially thinking I'd only be here for like 3-4 months sort of case. It's now 6 months later and I'm still here and I'm going to continue being here. I made the choice to stay in Thailand. I'm not going back to Australia for the foreseeable future, which also means I've had to resign from my job in Sydney. I will miss my job in Sydney. I enjoy the team I was working with. I enjoy the job, but sometimes life throws a curveball your way and my light just dimmed on me and you just have to adapt to it best you can. So bear with me while I try and fix that light. Yes, that's much better. Back to normal. So yes, I've said goodbye to the team and they'll be missed, but life goes on, as we say. And part of the time was I was also working on a commercial project where I had to take flat lay photos of some very nice Persian carpets that the business owner wanted on their website, which was a fun experience because it also posed a few challenges which I have now learned from, which I can also use moving forward. And that is trying to take top-down shots of an area that's about 6 by 4 meters or 18 by 12 feet if you use the imperial system. Sorry, I prefer meters, it just makes more sense to me, but I'm not getting into that debate and I don't want that debate in the comments. I went out and purchased a new light. I got the Nanlite Forza F150, which is a very good light. I'm very happy with it. The rectangular softbox that comes with it did a great job. The only downside I have to say about the light right now is that because of its size, all of the controls are on the light itself, which when you set it up at about 2 to 3 meters in height the way I did, if you did want to change the strength of the light, you had to lower it, set it, and then set it up again. But there is a firmware update for the light so I can control it through Nanlight's Bluetooth app, but for whatever reason when I try to connect it in the app, it doesn't connect. So I've got to try and see where the issue is with there and get it to connect so I don't have to worry about raising and lowering it every time I want to change the strength of the light, because sometimes you have to do that. And if you saw the short I uploaded a while back, you would have seen that I used a C-stand to be able to get the camera up high enough to get that top-down shot, which posed a few challenges of its own for balancing purposes. Thankfully, one of the staff members there came up with a brilliant idea of using some of the interior decoration to affix the stand completely so that it won't move once the camera's on there, and we had a permanent setup for, I think it was 6-7 days that I was there shooting in the end of it. And lastly, I did spend a bit of time up at the parents' place, which is about, assuming there's not too much traffic. Yes, in Thailand, even outside Bangkok, you will still get traffic, especially on public holidays, which is when I was there. I was up at the parents' place about 3 hours out of Bangkok up in the mountains, which is a great spot to go to, like I mentioned, if you want to get out of Bangkok and enjoy nature for a bit. If you don't want to go to the beach, that is, because it's not too far away and can easily go like Friday afternoon, come back Sunday afternoon sort of thing, which is what most people did. But as I was there on the public holidays, so was everybody else, which meant going out anywhere was just like being in Bangkok where you are stuck in traffic. So instead of going out, I stayed home and I worked on all the photos from that commercial project that I was working on, because that way by the time it was done, I knew that there would be less editing to do. Instead of just waiting for all the photos to be done and editing, I edited as we went along just to try and speed up the process and meet the deadline of getting everything done on time. But in saying that, I did head up to the national park that we've got up there, which if you're not used to driving through the mountains, can be a bit hairy the first time you do it, especially on the way down through the mountains, through the winding roads, but it's still a nice drive and it's a nice place to check out if you want to see amazing vistas, you know, big valleys, big mountains, through the jungle and the rainforest that we've got here in Thailand, and go right to the end like I did and see the waterfall that's there, because if you go just after the rain, that's when waterfalls look at their best, and because now it's also the rainy season, it's also a good time to try and head back. So I will try and head back and do a dedicated video of that particular waterfall and the stops along the way, so you can see exactly where it is, so that you can see other parts of Thailand and not just Bangkok, or like I did earlier, late last year, Phuket, where I was there for a couple of weeks. And so that's something hopefully I'll be able to do in the next few weeks. And also, if you remember, beginning of the year I had the goal to get down to 90 kilos before my birthday. Well, I did it. It was 90 point something or other, but the goal was 90. As long as it was 90, I had 90 at the front of it, I hit it. So 90, done. And I did what everyone else does once they hit a weight goal. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people I know, especially me, which is I went and gorged on junk food for the next few weeks like my life depended on it. So now I'm back up to 92 kilos. But that's okay, because it's now reinforced a healthier lifestyle that I didn't have when I was in Sydney. So even though I have gained 2 kilos back, I'm not overly fussed. I know I'm going to lose it again without too much drama, which is a good segue to let you know that's actually going to be a future video that I've already got planned and is nearly ready to film, which is how to stay healthy as a photographer, considering we sit down quite a bit editing photos on our computer. But if you want to see that video on how you can stay healthy, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because then at least you'll know when it's there and you don't have to keep checking back randomly. You'll just get a notification that that video is released. But that's effectively what's gone on the past 2 months. I had to put everything aside to worry about a few personal commitments. I went and did a commercial project. I went and took some pictures of some waterfalls. I spent some time with the family. I decided to stay here in Thailand, which may or may not be the right choice. We shall have to wait and see. So now that things have settled down and I have made the choice to stay here, I can now get back to doing what I enjoy doing, which is taking photos, not just of landscapes, but cityscapes. And someone's banging about in the hall, but never mind. And seeing new parts of Bangkok that I haven't been to yet. I've got a laundry list of places I want to go to, and I'm hoping to take you guys along with me. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. But that's where I'll leave it for today. Hopefully this has given you a good update as to where I've been and what may be coming. And there shouldn't be any reason I don't see you next week as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Have a good one.